Because I'm that cool.
Alright, today I'll be talking to you about the sport of horse reining. It's a sport that's showcasing the extremely broke horse. In other words, a finished or well-trained horse. It's showing it in a relaxed manner and having it do maneuvers at the rider's command with very little sign. I myself don't partake in the sport, but my friend Steve Ecker has owned horses for years and has actually been reining with horses for over 3 years now. I've gone and seen him perform, and I've talked with him many over the years about it as well. I'm going to be talking to you about reining horses, the patterns they run, and some of the milestones in the sport that it's achieved. I'm going to start off with reining horses. What makes a good reining horse are two things. That's temperament and physical attributes. The big things in temperament is obviously you want a good temperament, and that comes in bloodlines. You want good bloodlines, pure bloodlines that showcase the champions in the past of the horse and the qualities of the horse that you've bred into it, and that it's going to have a good mind. If you have a bad mind, you only get about a small amount of the potential of the horse, and it's pointless to keep going with it. And then also at the same point, bad temperament. It also comes from bad bloodlines. If you have weak blood in the past, then you're not going to get as much out of the horse. And you also, other things that can cause a trainer heartache or headaches throughout the training process are people who raise horses badly. A young horse, horses communicate, they don't communicate with loud noises and fast moves. And so when you do this with a younger horse, they tend to spook and be fearful of humans, and that's just more for the trainer to overcome in the later terms. Next is physical attributes. Good physical attributes come with all the qualities of the horse. The big one is balance, but you can also tell with big nostrils, taking lots of air and stuff like that. You need it to be able to breathe throughout what you're doing with it. And also things like the legs. You don't want bow-legged, you don't want pigeon legs, stuff like that. You can put a lot of strain on the joints of the horse, which is bad. And it can cause pain for the horse, and it won't keep going throughout it. You also want a big heart. Big heart's a big part of a horse. You don't actually want to take and have an x-ray to see a big heart, but you'll be able to tell through riding it. If it gives you more, if it's guts, stuff like that, you'll be able to tell that it's actually giving you everything, and it has the heart to pump that with the big lungs to take in all the air. And also medium neck is really good. It helps keep the horse aligned throughout the maneuvers. And also with the long neck, that's actually the opposite. It doesn't help it, and a short neck actually helps it turn really quickly, which is also bad. Go next on to is the patterns. The patterns are what they use in reining, and all of them use the same maneuvers, just in different order. And so I'm going to be telling you about the maneuvers. The first one is circles. With circles, you have big, fast circles and slow, small circles. They both start and end in the center of the arena, which is usually in front of the judges. And and then you got lead changes. With lead changes, it happens during in the center when the circles, when you change direction, and that's when the inside leg reaches further outwards or further forwards than the outside leg. Then you have stop. Stop is the flashing move of it. It's kind of the sport's big move. It's the one that everyone looks forward to, and that's where the horse comes in at a gallop, and it ends up sliding on its two back feet where they stay stiff, and then the two front feet pedal. The horse's head comes down low. It's relaxed with its jaw shut, and the reins are also usually loose, to showing that the rider isn't having to really try hard. And then you have a stop and roll back. Of course, you come in a slide stop, and then the roll back is when the horse's feet actually come up off the ground. The two front feet come up off the ground, hit the back without ever touching in a complete 180, and then he goes off at a gallop the complete opposite way. Then you have a stop and back up, which is basically what it sounds. You come on a sliding stop, and then the horse backs up. Then the final one is spin. Spin is where the horse is in the center of the arena. You do a series of 360 spins in each direction. The horse plants its 2 back feet and then you do a spin around it. The faster it goes is the harder it is. And then we'll move on to milestones. Milestones in the sport for the NRHA is the NRHA means the National Reining Horse Association, which was founded in 1966. The next big one was the first Reiner magazine was published in 1980, all the way after 1966. The next big one was the Hall of Fame in 1986. Then the biggest one came in 2000 when the NRHA was accepted in the FEI, or Federation Equestrian International, which allowed for international competition and also is the first step in for a crew exit and joining the Olympics. Then the big ones are money, which shows how much your sport has grown in the last in the wild. And we got $1 million athletes. We're gonna start with Bill Horn. Bill Horn was the first to become $1 million rider in the sport in 1995. And then the next big one was the first female one, who in 2007, her name was Mandy McCutcheon. And when she became the first female, she also became the 10th $1 million rider in the sport as well. And now there's also over $20 million riders in the sport today. Then you have horses. Once a horse has basically shown its excellence in the sport, it then basically gets retired and becomes to where it's going to start passing on its genetics and start making money that way. And so some of the big horse names are is Hollywood Dunnett. In 1998, Hollywood Dunnett became the third $1 million horse sire in the sport, and he became one of the biggest names in throughout the sport. He was the first to reach the $2 million mark, the $3 million mark, $4 million mark, and the $5 million mark by 2007. The next great horse was Top Cell Wiz. He was always close by, close on the heels of Hollywood Dunnett throughout that time until 2007, a couple months after Hollywood Dunnett, he also reached the $5 million mark. And then in 2008, he became the top sire in the sport. And he ended up reaching the $6 and $7 million marks, which haven't been topped yet. Then coming to the end here, one of the things I found that I thought was pretty good was reining has recently become an event at the Pan Am Games and the World Equestrian Games. Reining has received so much international support as a horseback riding sport that is likely to achieve Olympic status in the 2012 Summer Olympics. And I hope you enjoyed the speech as we went over reining horse, the patterns, and just a few milestones in the sport. And that was everything.